Hi, I didn't see you there. My name is Karl Marx, and today I am here to talk to you about something very near and dear to my heart, the precursor to my own political and economic theory. Today I am here to talk to you about socialism. Let's dive in. Since nearly the beginning of modern civilization, a workforce has been necessary to aid the functioning of society. Whether it be men doing back-breaking work, women slaving over textiles, or children being recruited to work in factories so that their tiny little arms could operate the machinery, the working conditions and the representation of workers has been horrible. While yes, there have been slave and employee uprisings and revolts, one of the greatest movements towards a fair treatment of workers has been the socialist movement. Towards the beginning of industrialization, around 1760 in England, two new classes were established. There was the industrial middle class and the industrial working class. Life was pretty good for the middle class, but it was bad for the working class. Factory conditions, hours, and pay were awful for members of the working class. This system that included the horrible treatment of workers was called capitalism. This economic system was based on a private ownership of the means of production, which included factories, machines, and tools, all of which were used to create wealth. Citizens started to question the value of capitalism because it only seemed to benefit the very wealthy people. The idea of utopian socialism started to circulate, which said that all members of society would share in the work and the profits. But that was met with many citizens saying that it was unrealistic or impossible. Socialism believes in the public ownership of property and natural resources, opposed to private ownership. Socialism values cooperation over competition, and socialists believe that all people in society contribute to the production of goods and services, and that those goods should be shared equally. The rest of society saw it as too idealistic, and they just wanted to work on improving the community that already existed instead of creating a new one. Next comes me, Karl Marx. I observed the plight of the working class as I moved to Paris, Brussels, and London. I wrote for a series of radical newspapers and I promoted socialism. So then came Marxist ideology, and that's my ideology. At its core, it believes that all social, political, and intellectual activities are the product of the society's economic organization. I had some help in developing Marxism from my good old pal Friedrich Engels. He's the son of a wealthy German cotton manufacturer and also observed the disastrous outcomes of the working class. A lot of my work stemmed from witnessing how the bourgeoisie, the people who own the means of production, or the industrial middle class, forced the proletariat, those who sell their labor to the producers or the industrial working class, to work for endless hours. Members of the proletariat did back-breaking work in horrible conditions to sell their products, and poor laborers ended up with barely a quarter of the money they deserved. The rest of the income is sent to the industrial middle class, also known as the bourgeoisie. Quite clearly, the aim of socialism is man. The goal is for man to be able to put aside all of the worries of work and product so that he can become one with the world. Here is the explanation of socialism that I, Karl Marx, think is especially important. Man produces in an associated, communal way that is not competitive. He produces rationally, which means that he brings production under his own control instead of being ruled by someone else. Man would be independent and be able to stand on his own 2 feet. He would be the master and creator of his own life, and would not be subjected to the leadership or direction of some blind power. To me, socialism is creating the conditions for the truly free, rational, active, and independent man. Socialism is a society designed to serve the needs of man. Socialism is the return of man as a real human being, instead of just acting as a piece in the capitalist game. Thank you. This is Karl Marx signing off.